What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. With the new Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe film, The Lighthouse, in theaters now. Since the horror film is a horror film that is shot in black and white, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite black and white horror movies. And for the heck of it, I just went ahead and made this video black and white. So, I mean, talk about a black and white like a like I'm talking about black and white movies, so I decided, okay, why not? How about I make this video black and white? So that's why I decided to do in this bit. But anyway, now there's been lots of great classic black and white horror films. Like The Lighthouse literally looks like a horror film that was shot in the 50s. Like seriously, it literally looks like a 50 based movie. But anyway, yeah, I think The Lighthouse looks great. I cannot wait to see that. But anyway, with that being said, here are my top 10 favorite black and white horror films. Alright. Coming in at number 10, it's the film titled Cat People. Now, they actually did a remake of this, like, I believe in the 90s, but the original was full on black and white. It got released in I think the 1940s or 50s, around those eras. And it's about this New York-based fashion designer named Irina Deprovna, who's, like I said, is this New York fashion designer who like hails from Serbia, I must say, and she ends up beginning a romance with this engineer named Oliver Reed, played by Ken Smith. And so, like after the couple ends up getting married, he ends up pretty much being concerned about Irina's like nation that she also ends up being cursed and ends up getting transformed into a large cat in like the heat of passion on. And so they're pretty much trying to find so the husband's trying to find a way to ward off the curse and all. Like Cat People is not really the best classic horror film, but it's a really good one. I mean, it's pretty creepy. Like cat, like the way she got turned to cat is pretty insane. It's directed by this director named Jacques Turner. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. So pretty good. The lead actress is pretty great. When she was a human form and then she becomes a cat, and yeah. But yeah, Cat People is one really messed up film, but it's a pretty good one. All right, coming in at number 9, it is The Invisible Man. Now, they are of course doing like a reboot of The Invisible Man coming out in February, but the original is really a classic. I mean, it's directed by horror mastermind James Whale, who's been it's kind of a classic when it comes to these like Universal monster-based movies. I mean, I got lots of James Whale movies in this list, and The Invisible Man is about like this this doctor named Doctor Jack Griffin, who ends up stumbling on a potion that can like make him invisible. And so like his ability, he ends up revealing his ability to his like old mentor named Henry Travers, as well as his fiance played by Titanic actress Gloria Stewart. And so like the side effects, it's like very clear that the side effect is like very history and all that. And so like Jack ends up also going on like a very violent rampage. And yeah, the Invisible Man is one like it's a real creepy like I mean he of course is very invisible, so the police can't really find the target, like pretty much look for him and all that. When the only way you'll be able to see him is like if he wears glasses and all, or like a hoodie and stuff like that. I mean, the Invisible Man is a really classic one. Claude Rains was great in this. William Harrigan was great. The police, of course, try to capture the guy. I mean, the Invisible Man is a really interesting one. Alright. coming in at number 8, it is Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, now they haven't had a remake of this, but technically, Shape of Water was sort of a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon. And it's where like these scientists and all end up discovering this ends up discovering this like creature from like this lagoon place, and it's a real creepy one. I mean, it's directed by Jack Arnold directed this. Jilly Adams played like the female lead in this. You also had the scientist in this was of course played by Antonio Moreno, Richard Carlton, Richard Denning, and with White Bissell. You actually had a human who actually played the like the mysterious the mysterious creature thing here. Like it's pretty much half man, half fish if you want to look at it that way. It's kind of like Shape of Water in a weird way. But yeah, this is one really creepy film. I mean, the creature like from the time of this film release, the creature was pretty creepy there. And yeah, if you guys never really seen Creature from Black Lagoon, it's another one of those classic Universal monster films. Now, of course, they've been trying to get the Dark Universe up and running, and Creature from Black Lagoon was one of them. But yeah, that's probably never gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, and of course the scientists are trying. End up believing that this like fish may be a danger to people and all. I mean, it's a really classic one. If you guys never seen Creature from Black Lagoon yet, give it a go. It's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 7, it is another James Whale directed film, and that is Bride of Frankenstein. Now, this stars Colin Clive as a Dr. Frankenstein, and he ends up inventing like a new monster, and who's of course ends up becoming the bride of the monster. And all. I mean, you had Ella Lancaster actually play the role of the bride. You also had Boris Karloff, who reprised his role as the monster. I mean, this is, I guess you could say, a sequel to the original Frankenstein. And Bride of Frankenstein is a really great one. It's really iconic. I mean, pure black and white greatness. James Whale, did a pretty good job at directing. I mean, if you guys never seen Bride of Frankenstein, it's a really decent one. I mean, it's a classic too. So, all right, coming in at number 6, it is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Based on the classic book, starring Frederick March, who of course who develops like this formula that separates the two. Like his true self, he ends up becoming, a character named Dr. Jekyll. Then he has another character named Mr. Hyde, and it's a really crazy one. I mean, he pretty much has a good side and has an evil side, which is a really creepy one if you think of it. But yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is a really great one. It got released in like the Dirties, great performances by Marsh and by the other cast. I mean, if you guys never really seen Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde yet, give it a go. And they got doing revival of this. I think Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde could definitely work today. Now I know that Chris Evans has been talking about doing like a remake, but I don't know if that will ever happen. But anyway. Alright, coming in at number 5 is probably one of my favorite silent films. Now, I'm not really that much of a big silent film guy, but this is actually probably, this and maybe The Kid is probably my 2 favorite silent films. One of these days I'll do my 10 favorite silent movies. I've seen 10 enough to qualify to do a top 10 list. But anyway, my number 5 is Nosferatu. I mean, years before we had Interview with the Vampire, years before vampires became popular, with sparkly vampires or True Blood or anything like that. Years before that, there was Nosferatu. I mean, one of the most. You know, you had Max Shariak has the mysterious account Olak. I mean, Nosferatu is one of the most creepiest vampires there is, and it's directed by a great director named F.W. Monroe. I mean, this is a really classic one. Like I've seen it a couple times on TCM, and I really get a kick out of this movie every time I watch it. Like, obviously, there's not any dialogue because it's silent, but the performances by Max Shrek, and like he's definitely Count Orlok. Like, I don't care who. Like, there has been remakes of this, but obviously Max Shrek played the role much better. I mean, if you guys never really seen the original Nosferatu, this show a couple times at TCM. I think you'll get a kick out of it. And if it wasn't for Nosferatu, we probably wouldn't have the vampires we have today. So, yeah. All right, coming in at number 4, it is. Coming in at number 4, it is The Wolfman. Now, The Wolfman stars Bela Lugosi as, of course, this guy who ends up getting turned into a werewolf. And The Wolfman, you also had Claude Rains, who's pretty big with the Universal Monster films. I noticed. You also had Maria. I can never really pronounce the actual name, but she played, of course, the gypsy and all. I mean, Werewolf was also where the Wolfman also starred Lon Chaney, who did with the makeup and all. He nailed it as the Wolfman. Directed by George Wagner. You also have Elvin and Scarson, who of course is like pretty much the guy that that the lead character tries to oppress, like the character of Larry Taba ends up trying to oppress before he gets turned into a werewolf and all. The Wolfman is a very creepy one, and they of course remade this like a couple years ago with Benicio del Toro. But the original Wolfman is a really great one, and Benicio del Toro is great, but I probably still prefer Chaney's portrayal of this character slightly more. I mean, yeah, definitely go check out the original Wolfman if you guys haven't seen that. Alright. Coming in at number 3, it is another James Whale directed film, and that is Frankenstein. I mean, this one starred Boris Karloff as a monster himself. You had the aforementioned Colin Clive as Dr. Henry Frankenstein, who ends up creating the monster. I mean, I still always wonder why they just like the movie more centers around the monster. So why never just call it Frankenstein's monster instead of just calling it Frankenstein? But I still never understood that. Anyway, it's of course based on a book by Mary Shelley. I mean, the original Frankenstein got released in I think 1931 or 32, around somewhere in the 30s. But the original Frankenstein is just iconic. I mean, the iconic moment of "It's alive." I mean, come on, that's an iconic moment right there. Yeah, James Whale, he was kind of, I guess you could say, James Whale was kind of like the James Wan of that era. Like he directed some interesting horror stuff, and Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. I mean, yeah, James Whale, that guy was the man, and what he did with the original Frankenstein was just iconic. If you guys never really seen the original Frankenstein yet, give it a shot. All right. Nosferatu is not the only vampire on my list. My number 2 favorite is the original Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi as the Tyro of Count Dracula, directed by Todd Browning. I always thought James Whale directed this, but it was a different director. I mean, yeah, the original Dracula is such an iconic one. I mean, this movie got released like years after Nosferatu got released, and Dracula, of course, got released like before vampires, became popular and all, and of course, Dracula is based on the classic book by Bram Stoker, and yeah, Now, Dracula was, of course, now the original Dracula was released in 1931, so there wasn't like there was still like blood, but not as much blood as you see in today's film standards. But yeah, Bela Lugosi, I think he's probably my favorite incarnation of Dracula. Like, I think one of these days I'll do my top favorite incarnation of Dracula. Like, Bela Lugosi is definitely gonna be one of them. I mean, the guy would like. I'm not even lying. Bela Lugosi was so invested in his role that during his funeral, he actually was actually be buried in his Dracula costume as and he was like, you'll even find like if you Google Bela Lugosi's open casket, you'll literally find a Bela Lugosi in his open casket with his Dracula uniform. I think that's actually well, I mean that's an interesting way to get buried in, you know. But yeah, Dracula, the original Dracula is just iconic. If you guys never seen the original, give it a go. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for Nosferatu or even the original Dracula, we wouldn't have the vampires we got today. Like, there probably wouldn't have been True Blood. There would have been Vampire Diaries, Twilight. There would have been Blade without anything like Dracula or Nosferatu. Like, these films really paved the way for vampires. So yeah. Down the line, I'm gonna do my 10 favorite vampire movies. By the way, I'm probably gonna wait till that Morbius comes out. But anyway.
So what do you do if you don't mind my asking? Just out of transportation curiosity, do you drive in or do you?
Alright, my number one favorite black and white horror movie of all time is Alfred Hitchcock's directed film, Psycho. I mean, this is probably the best horror movie of the golden age. Psycho is amazing. It's so darn iconic. One of the best scores I've seen in a horror film. Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates is so darn creepy. I mean, you also had Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, Marion Crane. I mean, this might be a bit of a spoiler, but the movie's been out since the 1960s, so yeah, if you guys haven't seen the movie, you probably have no intention of watching it. But the original Psycho, I mean, Marion Crane is one of the, like, you'd think that Marion Crane was the main character, but she ends up getting killed throughout the, the first half of the movie, and yeah. Psycho, of course, you had, Vera Miles was in this, John Gavin, some really great cast members, but it was Anthony Perkins' portray of Norman Bates that really sells this film. And we had other Psycho incarnations, whether you talk about the Vince Vaughn version or the TV show Bates Motel with Freddie Highmore, but none of them beats the original. I mean, I literally even saw the original Psycho on the big screen. When AMC did this classic program where they were showing Psycho. I mean, it was awesome seeing Psycho on the big screen, by the way. And it was cool seeing lots of classic movies on the big screen, and Psycho was one of them. Like, this is seriously a horror film I'll literally watch anytime it's on. Like, obviously, the movie was way ahead of my time, and really lots of these movies was ahead of my time. But Psycho is still iconic. I mean, one of the most iconic scenes is, of course, the shower scene. I mean, lots of people could tell you that after that scene, they literally always caution to take your showers. I mean, yeah. Like, showers made for Psycho avoid the water made of Jaws. Like, lots of people are afraid to go in the water because they saw Jaws. So, yeah. But, yeah, Psycho, if you guys still never seen it, they show it loads of time on TCM. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock, of course, directed it. Probably one of the best, directors of the golden age of cinemas. Alfred Hitchcock was the man, and Psycho to me is also his best work too. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Cat People. 9, The Invisible Man. 8, Creature from Black Lagoon. 7, Bride of Frankenstein. 6, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. 5, Nosferatu. 4, The Wolfman. 3, Frankenstein. 2, Dracula. 1, Psycho. Now, there's those other ones I probably could have added. Alright. There's another, like a modern one called A Girl Walks Home Alone. That's at night. That's a pretty good one. Eyes Without a Face. That's a creepy one. Abba and Costello meets Frankenstein. That's more comedic, but still pretty good. The 1920s classic, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Boy, talking really old there. Anyway, there's a classic, Carnivals of Souls, Dead of Night, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original Mummy, also Boris Karloff. There's a Night of the Demon, The Haunting, Straight Jacket. There's The Uninvited, the original of that, I should say. The classic film about killer ants, Quantum. There's some pretty good ones that got released. Like, I tell you, these movies were ahead of my time, but the classic horror genre was just not that bad. Like, the golden age of cinema, like, not just horror, but golden age of cinema was pretty decent for films. Like, one of these days I'm going to do my 10 favorite films of the golden age, because there's some really great films of those eras. But anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite black and white horror movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This here, C Movie sign off.